is Court Lesmeister, and today I'll be talking to you about protein-based adhesives. From a young age, everyone has experienced the joy of adhesives. Growing up, you have most likely applied Elmer's glue to a piece of paper and sprinkled sparkles all over it. This is an example of an adhesive at a young age that people don't realize. The definition of an adhesive is of or relating to the molecular force that exists in the area of contact between unlike bodies and that acts to unite them. In this case, the glue is the adhesive that allows the paper and sparkles to be able to unite. The process of adhesion becomes even more complex when talking about protein-based adhesives. Protein-based adhesives are adhesives such as traditional Elmer's glue, but are related closely to natural adhesives which are made up of renewable resources rather than petroleum-based products like glue. When people think of the word adhesives, they generally think glue right away. Adhesives can be categorized in two different categories, synthetic or natural. The first account of an adhesive was dated as far back as 4000 BC when studies showed of prehistoric tribe burial sites having a sticky resin from tree saps to rebuild pottery. Synthetic adhesives are adhesives made with a large amount of petroleum and thus are not biodegradable, and natural adhesives are adhesives made largely of natural substances such as animals or plant protein. Synthetic adhesives are man-made adhesives that are not recyclable and therefore are not desired in society today. In the 1930s, advances in the chemical and plastics industry led to the development of a wide range of materials called adhesives and plastic or synthetic resin glues. For a synthetic adhesive such as glue, the most common structure present is either polyvinyl acetate on the left or petroleum on the right. On the other hand, natural adhesives or protein-based adhesives are mainly made up of naturally found renewable resources or natural byproducts. With the possibility of raw materials such as petroleum running low, today's generation has looked heavily towards finding a way for the use of byproducts such as soybeans and even shellfish. When approaching protein-based adhesives, it is important to attack the following ideas. What are the current common protein adhesives in industry? What are the applications that are highly beneficial through protein-based adhesion? And what does the future of protein-based adhesives look like? In industry, there is a wide variety of protein-based raw materials floating around. However, there are two major proteins that have played a huge role in protein-based adhesion, and they are proteins derived from soybeans as well as methyl cellulose. Soy protein-based adhesion have been around for centuries but were widely replaced by petroleum-based adhesives during the World War II era. However, the soy protein-based adhesives have made a large comeback in the replacement of urea formaldehyde to reduce the amount of emissions given off by the formaldehyde. A large advantage for the substitution of soy protein for formaldehyde is the amount of emissions are reduced, thus opening more possibilities for household appliances and increasing the industry at hand. Another popular protein-based adhesive used in industry is methyl cellulose. Methyl cellulose is a chemical compound based on cellulose, which is from plant fibers. Methyl cellulose glue or adhesive has a neutral pH, is non-toxic, vermin-proof, non-allergenic, and dries clear. If you mix it in a dilute solution, it will dry with a matte finish. It isn't affected by heat or freezing. Its use as a glue can be reversed with cold water, making it ideal for purposes involving paper. It is often used for paper repair and bookbinding. It is not soluble for use in high humidity. The bonds made with methyl cellulose are very flexible but not particularly strong. A large amount of protein-based adhesives is targeted towards particle boards and other wood composites products such as plywood. The soybean meal and protein present in the soybean has been known to take the place of phenolic resins in the adhesion of plywood layers. As the importance of renewable raw materials have been introduced to polymers as well as adhesives, new studies have emerged to increase the already beneficial protein-based adhesives. Kansas State University performed tests on the soy protein to try and create a better quality soy adhesive. The soy was modified with sodium bisulfate, which showed good compatibility with commercial glues applied on plywood and paper labeling fields. The test performed is able to take the disadvantages of soy protein adhesives such as the low water resistance and high viscosity and create a protein-based adhesive showing short curing time, higher water resistance, and lower viscosity. A new study introduced in January 17, 2017 shows the possibility of a shellfish chemistry combined with polymer that can create a new biodegradable adhesive. Mussels extend hair-like fibers that attach to surfaces using plaques of adhesives. Protein in the glue containing the amino acid dopa, which harbors the chemistry needed to facilitate the cross-linking of protein molecules, providing strength and adhesion. Purdue researchers have now combined this bonding chemistry of muscle proteins with a polymer called polylactic acid, or PLA, a bio-based polymer that can be derived from corn. The adhesive was created by harnessing the chemistry of compounds called catechols contained in dopa. With a new protein-based adhesive being recently discovered, more protein-based adhesives may be following. The concept of protein-based adhesives is not a new idea, but is not an idea that has been fully exploited. From the natural adhesives dating back to cavemen, the sudden halt of protein-based proteins during the World War II era, and now the sudden push for biodegradable adhesives, the concept of protein-based adhesives will only grow. As resources such as petroleum slowly dwindle, new cornstarch proteins and sugarcane stalk proteins will emerge, creating even stronger adhesives to be used in industry. With simple tests taking place at Kansas State University and other locations like the Kansas Polymer Research Center here in Pittsburgh, Kansas, the disadvantages that still linger over natural adhesives compared to synthetic adhesives, the natural adhesives can easily become more reliable than synthetic adhesives. Here's my reference, and thank you for your time.